Hi, hello students. Welcome to Indian Tech Guru for you. Let us move on to the next topic. The next topic is stack organization. So before actually moving to the stack organization, we need to know what is a stack. A stack is a last in, first out, last in, first out list. Last in, first out list. Okay, in the data structures subject also, you are going to learn about the stack, queue, linked list, trees, graphs, all these concepts. So there you find the definition for the stack, and in case of the computer system, we are going to use a hardware stack. So in case of data structures, we will be learning about the stack concept as a software implementation, whereas in case of the computer organization, inside of the computer system, we are going to use the stack as a hardware component. So even though it is a software implementation or hardware implementation, the basic properties of the stack will be same. So it is called as last in, first out list. What does it mean? So whatever the item you are going to place first, that will be retrieved last, and whatever the item you are going to place last, that will be retrieved first. For example, consider a stack of trays. A stack of trays. So you are going to place the first tray, and then second tray, and then third tray, and then fourth tray. So if you want to remove the first tray, it is not possible. So whatever the tray that has been pushed last, that will be retrieved first. This is retrieved first. And whatever the tray that is pushed first, that will be retrieved last. So the example for stack operations is a stack of trays. And the implementation of the stack, coming to the implementation of the stack, there will be a stack pointer. The stack pointer is called as SP here. So in case of data structures, we call it as a top of the stack. Now here we are going to consider it as SP. SP means stack pointer. Stack pointer. So stack pointer as well as top, both are same. Top of the stack, both are same. Okay. So what is the actual purpose of implementing the stack in computer system? We'll see in this session itself. However, as of now, first of all, we are going to define the properties of the stack. So what are the properties of stack? A stack is a last in, first out list, and it has a pointer, stack pointer SP, and there are two basic operations related to this stack. What are they? They are push operation and pop operation. Push operation, pop operation. Push operation means you are going to push a data item into the stack. Pop operation means you are going to remove a data item from the stack. So the insertion operation, push means the insertion operation into the stack is called as push. The deletion operation from the stack is called as pop. These are the special symbols that are used, special words that are used in case of the stack. The insertion operation is called as push, the deletion operation is called as pop. And there will be two flags for the stack. So what are they? We need to check whether the stack is full or whether the stack is empty. So what is the purpose of checking whether the stack is full or empty? If the stack is full, then we cannot insert. No more insertions. If the stack is full, no more insertions. Why? Because space is not available. Space is over. And whenever the stack is empty, no more deletions. We cannot delete an item from the empty stack because there are no items. Okay. So these are these two flags we need to use, whether the stack is full or the stack is empty. And here we can see the diagrammatically how a stack is implemented. So in this particular implementation, it is called as a register stack. Register stack. Why we are calling it as a register stack means we are implementing the stack as a set of registers. How many registers are there? From 0 to 63. Total 64 registers. Total 64 registers are taken as a stack. And as usual, there is a stack pointer. Stack pointer. And now let us see how the items are inserted as well as deleted inside from in the stack. So the insertion operation is called as push operation and the deletion operation is called as pop operation. So initially the stack will be empty. Initially the stack will be empty. Okay. So initially stack pointer will be assigned to 0. Empty is assigned to 1 because the stack is empty now. Full is assigned to 0 because the stack is not full now. So what does it mean is, if empty is assigned to 1, what does it mean? The stack is empty initially. Okay. If full is assigned to 0 means the stack is not full. The stack is not full. What does it mean? You can insert elements because the stack is, memory locations are available in the stack. Okay. So now let us see the first, let us see the push operation. So initially stack pointer is 0. So initially SP will be showing this particular location, 0 location. And then for the push operation, initially what you are going to do, you are going to increment the stack pointer value SP assignment SP plus 1. So now SP will be moved to this location, which is going to represent location number 1, where you are going to insert the item. Okay, M of SP assignment dr, M of what is SP value, M of 1 assignment dr. Dr means you know already. Dr is going to hold the data. Dr is data register, it is going to hold the data. So whatever the data available in Dr, that is moved into the stack. So M of 1 assignment Dr, what does it mean? So the Dr value, assume initially the Dr value is A. We are going to insert the values A, B, C. So initially the Dr content is A. So A value will be pushed into the stack. A is pushed. And you need to check the stack pointer value. If stack pointer value is equal to 0, if stack pointer value is equal to 0, then it represents that the stack is full. You need to set the full flag to 1. Okay. So when stack pointer will be 0 after reaching to 63, so then it will reset the SP to 0. Because what is the how many values we need for 64 to represent 64 registers? How many bits we need? We need 2 power 6 bits because 64 is we need 64 is 2 power 6. We need 6 bits. We need 6 bits. Okay. So 2 2s 4, 4 2s 8, 8 2s 16, 16 2s 32, 32, 2s 64. 6 bits we need. So if all the bits are 1, then what is the value? 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. So the value will be 63. The value will be 63. So if you keep on incrementing the stack pointer and stored up to 63 values, then what will be the next value? 63 plus 1. 63 plus 1 means 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. So 1 1 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 0 1. So this cannot be accommodated. So totally there will be 6 zeros now. What does it mean? Stack pointer is reset to 0. So whenever the stack pointer comes here, this will be the last element. This will be the last element. So you cannot accommodate any more elements. That is why you are going to set the full flag to 1. What does it mean? Now the stack is full, you cannot accommodate. As we have inserted one element now, we are going to set the 0 value to flag empty, because now the stack is not empty, one element is there. So that's why we are going to assign 0 value to empty. Okay, like this the push operation is carried out. So as far as the push operation is concerned, what we are going to do? We are going to increment the stack pointer and then store the data available in a data register into the top of the stack or stack pointer value. If stack pointer is equal to 0, then we are going to assign one value to full, because the stack is full, and we are going to set 0 value to empty because one element has been inserted. So these are the 4 steps needed to be carried out for the push operation. Now coming to the pop operation. Pop operation means deleting a particular element. So assume that we have inserted data A, B, C by calling the push operation 3 times. Now I am going to implement the pop operation. Pop operation means deleting the element that is available at the stack pointer. So see here, the first operation is dr assignment m of sp. What is the stack pointer now? The stack pointer is 3, m of 3. So remove the top element. What is the top element? The value c, and store it in data register. And then decrement the stack pointer. So now sp will be decremented to 1. So it is going to show the value 2, memory location 2. So if sp is equal to 0, so if you keep on decrementing like that, if you remove b, a also, then sp will come to 0. So if sp will come to 0, what does it mean? Stack is empty. So you need to assign one value to the flag empty. Otherwise, if sp is not equal to 0, then what does it mean? The stack is not full, elements are available. So you need to assign 0 to full. So these are the steps, these are the 4 steps you need to perform during the pop operation. Okay, why we are using the full as well as empty? Because the size of the stack is limited. The size of the stack is limited. It is not unlimited. That's why there must be some stopping condition. If you keep on pushing the elements, because only 64 locations are available, you can accommodate only 64 locations. After 64 locations, the stack is full, you cannot accommodate. So that's why you need to have a checking flag full. Similarly, during the pop operation, if you keep on deleting the elements, if all the elements are over, then you need to check the stack empty, whether the stack is empty or not. So if the stack is empty, you cannot delete any more elements. Actually, these full as well as empty operations are called as, in data structures, full means stack overflow condition, stack overflow condition. Empty means stack underflow condition, stack underflow condition. So like this we are going to implement the stack. In case of the register, registers implementation. So all these are registers: 0 register, 1 register, 2 register, 3 register, 4 register, up to 63 registers. Total 64 registers we are using for the implementation of the stack. However, if you use the registers for the implementation of the stack, it will be too cost, because already we discussed that the fastest memory available in the computer is register memory, and the cost of manufacturing this register memory is very high. And already we have seen the purpose of the registers. Some special purpose registers are there, such as data register, program counter, memory register, address register. So several different types of registers we have seen. And similarly, in the previous class we discussed about the general purpose registers. So how we are going to use these general purpose registers for carrying out various operations, such as arithmetic operations as well as the logical operations. So now to implement the stack also with the registers, it will be too cost. That's why in some of the implementations, the stack is implemented as a memory stack. Memory stack means, so you are going to reserve some space in the main memory, which is actually attached to the computer system as a separate component. So main memory is nothing but the RAM. Okay. So and now you are going to bifurcate the main memory into 3 different parts. The first part is the program instructions, and the second part is data. Now the third part is a stack. So this entire thing is a stack. Okay. Now the entire main memory is divided into 3 different parts. What are they? The program instructions, the data, as well as the stack. So now as far as the program is concerned, program is nothing but a set of instructions. Already we have seen how instructions are stored inside of the main memory, how we are going to work with the instructions, what is the instruction format, how to decode the instructions, all those things we have seen. And data means we need data to perform a specific operation, let it be arithmetic operation or logical operation, we need the data. The data is actually stored in the main memory. Now in addition to that, we are going to bifurcate the main memory into stack. However, here the stack is implemented in a different fashion. What is that? The stack is located from the address 3000 to 4001. And you can see we have to implement the stack from bottom to top, and you can see the stack pointer is decreasing rather than increasing. Decreasing stack pointer. Okay. So actually in case of the push operation, we are going to increment the stack pointer. Now because the values are decreasing from bottom to top, we are going to decrement the stack pointer and then perform the push operation. And as far as the pop operation is concerned, we are going to increment the stack pointer. So that you can see here. So push operation is carried out as SP assignment SP -1, and then M of SP assignment DR. Store the content of DR into stack pointer. Similarly, pop operation is carried out as M of SP is assigned to DR and SP assigned to SP plus 1. Increment the stack pointer. So just we are going to reverse the operations, because here the address locations are decrementing from bottom to top. Like this also we can implement the stack operations. However, if you are keenly observe here, there is no flags to check the underflow as well as the overflow operations. So there is no empty flag as well as full flag as we have seen previously. So in some of the computers it is not going to check the underflow as well as the overflow conditions. However, there will be special values to check whether underflow has occurred or overflow has occurred. For example, it is going to take two special variables are registers. Assume that R15 is stored with 4001 and R16 is stored with 3000. Then each and every time it is going to check whether the value is 4001 or the value is 3000. So whenever the value reaches to 3000, the stack is full. So before inserting an element, it is going to check the value of address value with 3000. If it is 3000, then it assumes that the stack is full and no more insertions. Similarly, so whenever the pop operation is carried out, so it will check with the value 4001. So if it is equals to 4001, then it cannot delete any data, because it cannot carry out the pop operation if there are no elements at all. Like this, the overflow and underflow operations are carried out. So in case of the memory implementation. So here, what is the difference between the register stack as well as memory stack? In case of the register stack, so we are going to implement the stack using the registers, and in case of the memory stack, we are going to implement the stack as a memory locations. So inside of the RAM, we are going to accommodate some space for the stack. And then what is the necessity of implementing the stack? What is the necessity? So because without any use, we need not to implement the stack inside of the computer system. So there is a advantage of implementing the stack inside of the computer system, that is evaluation of the arithmetic expressions. So the stack implementation is used for evaluating the arithmetic expressions. So as far as the arithmetic operations is concerned, there are three different notations available: infix notation, prefix notation, and postfix notation. So as far as the infix notation is concerned, so it will be like A plus B. Infix notation means operand, operator, operand. Like this it will be implemented. And prefix or polish notation means the operand will be prefixed. Operator, operand, and operand. And the postfix or reverse polish notation. Is represented as operand, operator. So in case of postfix representation, the operator will be at the last. Okay. So here if you observe, what representation is very easily understood by human beings. For us, which will be very easy. For us, the infix notation will be very easy, because in mathematics we will be using the infix notation. Okay. So we'll be using the infix notation such as a plus b, c plus d, something like that. However, the computer cannot understand the infix notation. So because assume there is a arithmetic expression such as 3 into 4 plus 5 into 6, something like this, then the computer cannot evaluate this very easily, because here there is an into, here there is a plus, and into is having high precedence compared to plus. So if there are no parentheses at all, if the expression is like this 3 into 4 plus 5 into 6, so we cannot implement it as 3 into 4. After evaluating 3 into 4, it is 12. Then perform 12 plus 5, 17. Then perform multiplication, 17 into 6. This will be wrong. We need to evaluate such as first calculate 3 into 4 and then calculate 5 into 6 and then calculate the sum 12, 30, 12 plus 30, 42. This is the correct value. Okay. However, this is wrong value. 17 into 6 is wrong value. However, for human beings it is very easy to recognize, but for the computer system it is not easy. So that's why what we need to do, we need to convert the given infix expression into postfix expression or reverse Polish notation. Postfix expression or reverse Polish notation. So why it is called as a reverse Polish notation is a Polish scientist has invented how to convert the infix notation into prefix notation. So because postfix is reverse to the prefix notation, it is called as reverse Polish notation. So that is why the name has been come like this. So because the prefix implementation has been invented by a Polish scientist. So that's why it is called as Polish notation. Because postfix is the reverse to the prefix notation, it is called as reverse Polish notation. Now, the actual advantage of stack comes now. Okay. So because the computer cannot understand the infix notation, so we need to convert the infix notation into postfix notation or reverse Polish notation before the computer evaluates that particular arithmetic expression. So if we convert this entire expression into postfix or reverse Polish notation, it will be like this. Okay. See how the conversion is carried out. 3 into 4 plus 5 into 6. 3 into 4 means 3, 4 into plus 5 into 6 means 5, 6 into. Assume this is A, this is B. A plus B, AB plus. A is 3, 4 into, B is 5, 6 into plus. Like this we are going to convert the infix expression into postfix expression. So actually here we are converting, however in the computer system it will be converted using an algorithm. Okay, using an algorithm, the infix expression will be converted into postfix expression. So surprisingly, the infix expression is converted into postfix expression again by using a stack. That procedure is not there in your syllabus. In data structures, we come across how we are going to convert the infix expression into the postfix expression using a stack. But here you need to know, once we converted the infix expression into postfix expression, then how to evaluate the postfix expression, how to evaluate this postfix expression using the stack. So because stack is used in computer system to evaluate the arithmetic expressions. So see the procedure initially. So now let us note down the rules. Rule number one. If the element is an operand, push it into the stack. Whenever we trace the elements from left to right, if the element is an operand, then simply push it into the stack. Rule number two. If the element is an operator, then pop top two elements, perform operation and push the result into the stack. Okay. So rule number two is somewhat complicated. If the element is an operator, then what to do? Pop top two elements, not a one element, but pop top two elements and perform the operation and push the result into the stack. Okay. So now let us try to evaluate this particular expression. So initially the stack is empty. Assume this is the stack. Initially the stack is empty. So now 3 has come. 3 is operator or operand. It is an operand. Operand means data. So whenever it is an operand, just push into the stack. I have pushed into the stack, and then scan next element. If you scan the next element, it is also an operand. Then just push into the stack. I have pushed 4, and then scan the next element. The next element is an operator. Now whenever it is an operator, then what to do? Pop top two elements. So I have popped 4, I have popped 3, and perform the operation. What is the operation? Into operation. And perform the operation, then result will come. What is that result? 12. Now push this result once again to the stack, top of the stack. As I have popped 4 and 3, now the top of the stack is this particular location, and I am going to push 12 into this particular location. Next, keep on scanning. The next element to be scanned is 5. So whenever it is an operand, just push into the stack. Next, scan the next element. What is the next element? Next element is 6. It is also an operand. Then just push into the stack. Scan the next element. The next element is an operator. So whenever it is an operator, pop top two elements. What are the top two elements? The top element is 6. Next element is 5. And perform the operation. What is the operation? Multiplication operation. So 6 into 5 is equal to 30. Perform the multiplication and push the result into the stack. What is the result? 30. Push 30 into the stack. Next, keep on scanning. Once again, I am going to scan next element. The next element is plus. So it is also an operator. So whenever it is an operator, then pop the top element. What is the top element? 30 is the top element. And pop the next element. Next element is 12. And perform the operation. What is the operation? Plus operation. And find out the result. Result is 42. And push the result into the stack. 42 is pushed into the stack. So like this, we are going to perform we are going to evaluate the arithmetic expression using a stack. However, Here we have considered the stack implementation that we have seen in the data structures rather than the stack implementation which we have seen here for simplicity, simplicity purpose. You can also implement either the register stack or the memory stack to do the same operation. Now, what is the basic purpose of the implementation of stack in computer system? We came to know what is that purpose. The purpose is to evaluate arithmetic expressions. To evaluate arithmetic expressions, so it is not easy for the computer system to evaluate the infixed notation. However, as human beings, we use the infixed notation in mathematics. So to make sure that the computer understands and evaluates the expression correctly, what we need to do, we need to convert the infixed expression into postfix expression, and after converting the infixed expression into postfix expression, then we are going to evaluate the postfix expression using the stack implementation. Okay, so this is how we are going to implement the stack for evaluating the arithmetic expressions. Okay, now we have three different implementations. As far as the basic computer is concerned, we have shown that accumulator register is very important because all the operations are carried out using the accumulator register. And in the previous class, we discussed that in addition to the accumulator register, we can use the general purpose registers to perform different arithmetic as well as the logical operations. And in this class, we have seen that we can perform all of the operations using a stack. Then how a processor will be organized? Processor organization. So the processor may be organized either using accumulator organization or using general register organization or using the stack organization. So as far as the accumulator organization is concerned, the basic computer which we have seen in previous classes is a good example, and there will be accumulator register, and all the operations are carried out basically using the accumulator register only. So let it be arithmetic operations or let it be logical operations, all the operations will be carried out using the accumulator register only. But in the previous class we discussed that accumulator register is not sufficient, so that's why after some time the processor organization has been improved by using the general register organization, in which there will be plenty of registers available, and we have seen in the previous class how using the general purpose registers we are going to carry out the arithmetic as well as the logical operations. So there will be several general purpose registers, and we have seen one example which is going to use registers R1 to R7 and implement different operations using two common buses rather than one common bus to fasten the operation, as well as how we are going to store the generated output once again in these registers. That is called as general register organization. And now in this class we have seen about the stack organization. So in addition to implementing the stack for evaluating the postfix expression, we can also use the stack to perform all of the operations. So all the operations are done using the hardware stack. So for example, if you want to perform a logical OR operation, then what you are going to do is you are going to pop the top two elements from the stack and do a logical OR operation and push back the result onto the stack. Okay, like this a processor can be implemented in three different ways, either using a single register, accumulator register, or using a general register organization, or using a stack organization. So from initial stages we are keep on improving the processor implementation so that the operations are performed very fastly, as well as we are going to accommodate more memory so that the more number of operations are performed, as well as these operations are performed faster than the previous implementation. So the conclusion is three different implementations of processor organization are single register organization, which is also called as accumulator organization, general register organization, which we have seen in the previous class, stack organization, which we have seen in today's class. Hope you understand the logic. That's all for now.